Hi everybody, welcome to your pick a card reading. So today we're going to be asking, why are you still single? So you have 3 cards in front of you. There's 3 different color hearts that I've put on the card, so either you can choose from the hearts that is drawing to you or the crystal that I've placed in front of it. In a minute, I'm going to go ahead and give you a close-up. I do just want to give a general disclaimer. Now, I know love readings are kind of viral on YouTube, but please use your discretion. If something is not resonating with you, then leave it. Please by no means give all your power away to this reading. Just honestly take what resonates for you and then leave the rest. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and get into the card selection and get the reading started. Okay guys, so these are the 3 pile selections. With the light pink heart, we have pile 1. This is also the citrine stone. We have pile 2 with the red heart. I would pick it up, but it keeps rolling away for me. This is the opalite. And on pile 3, we have, I believe this is a rose quartz. I got it in an order and it didn't have a description, but I mean, I'm pretty sure I know what rose quartz looks like, so there you go. Take however long you need to choose a pile, and then you can go to the timestamp below. Alright, hi guys. So if you chose pile 1, this is going to be your reading on why you're still single. So I kind of said this in the intro, but please don't take what readers on YouTube say to heart. If something's really not meshing with you or vibing with you, leave it. Because I guarantee you guys, like, some of these pick a card readings have like thousands of views. Or not mine, not yet, but you know, you've seen the ones that just get thousands and thousands of views. And it's really important to know that when a reader's reading for a general pile, or like picking up energies of a general collective, it is statistically impossible for that whole entire message to resonate with like the 30,000 people or whoever's seen that message. So especially with love readings, I've been very hesitant to even do one yet, because people can just go so far over the edge with them and just take everything that they hear in a tarot reading to heart, where they stop ignoring their own intuition and just believe what the tarot reader says. But I'm telling you guys, we are not God. You know your situation 10 times better than we do, and that may, you know, be easy to say, but I really, especially with these love readings, guys, just be careful. If anything that I'm saying doesn't resonate with you, or you're struggling to make it fit, just leave it. If something I say really hurts your feelings and like you feel like you're in a low for the rest of the day, leave it, okay? I promise you, there's tons of other readings, there's tons of other messages that you can watch that will uplift you, make you feel good. So please just don't let this one reading ruin your day, or like, you know, send you into a spiral. That's not my intention. I want to uplift you with whatever messages comes through, but I just feel like I needed to make that disclaimer, because there's kind of just been this toxic energy floating around this tarot community when it comes to love readings, and I don't want to add to any of that. So anyways, with that said, let's take a look at why you're still single. And I kind of have a feeling that this reading might roast me too, because girl, or whatever your pronouns are, I've been single for a very long time. So anyways, if that's why you're watching this reading, you're not alone. But anyways, let us see why you are still single. Take a deep breath and let the messages begin. Okay, we have the Six of Swords. I'm sensing you guys have a lot of inner conflict going on. You guys may have recently gone through a breakup or something of the sorts, and this conflict is still clouding your vision. I feel like there's something about your aura which it either feels very melancholy to other people that encounter it, or it just feels like there's so much dysfunctional energy that people don't really want to approach you. And I'm not saying that you're not attractive or you're not pretty. It's something that you can't explain. People are always picking up on auras and vibes, whether they realize it or not. So it's just something in your auric field which makes people feel like they don't want to approach you, or like you just have too much like funky business going on and they don't want to mess with you. Either this is subconsciously or consciously. I feel like you know what this is. There was like you're carrying baggage here. The fight is over, the conflict is over, but you're still not putting the swords down. You still feel icy, you still feel left out in the cold, and you're not sure how to approach love at this very moment. I do feel like this was in the very recent past, because as you can see, there's still crows circling around her in this picture. So whatever it was that transpired either between you and another person, or maybe there was like a third party situation, I feel like either they're still lurking, you kind of see those crows still sticking around, so either they're still lurking or this just happened, but your eyes are just very much still set on this, and like maybe you're like watching this reading, I don't know. I think you guys know why you're still single, and I don't even feel like you're watching this reading because you think you're ready to get into another relationship. Maybe there's just some heart mending that needs to come through. Your heart just still feels very bitter and tender, and you're wishing for better days. I think you're very aware of the fact that your heart needs healing and that you're maybe not quite at this stage to let love go. But I think the positive thing about this pile is that you have hope for better days. Like you see the clouds that are parting in the horizon. You know it's there for you. I think you just have a lot of inner conflict that needs to be dealt with and needs to be sorted through. Because like I said, you're clinging on to these swords. You're clinging on to these swords. Oh, Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups. I feel like you guys sit there and daydream about what your perfect romantic partner would be like. I don't know. I think that if you just got out of a breakup, you really knew that this person was not it for you, and even though you're clinging on to the heartbreak a little bit, I think you're using this situation as leverage to help you find a newer and better person. You guys kind of remind me of the Death card a little bit in tarot, because I feel like you use whatever you go through as leverage to get yourself in a better situation next time. You use the ashes and remains of whatever has really burnt down in your life to become reborn and become something new. I actually feel like you must have a very magnetic energy about you, because although this is a reading about why am I single, I actually sense that honestly, like, a new partnership is not very far off for you. You really need to be around people, and people need to be around you. I don't know if you have Cancer energy in your chart, but it feels like you're kind of almost a mama bear, and you kind of really can't be without someone, like a companion to nurture and spend your time with. It's like, not only is it detrimental for you not to have that, it's detrimental for the other people in your life not to have um that energy. Like, I don't know, I feel like somebody already is being drawn to you. And I really just want to say, guys, it kind of feels like if you jump into this new partnership coming up for you right away, that you run the risk of bringing these old wounds into the next relationship. And if you can focus on healing these wounds, you have a better chance of this next relationship going smoothly, because this person really hopes and wishes. She kind of sits on cloud 9 a little bit when it comes to love and romance and daydreaming, but like, I think what you're not seeing is that you've been carrying either like childhood trauma or just something really negative that happened to you. It's like a festering wound, and I don't feel like you're giving it time to heal. I almost feel like you may be addicted to pain in some way, because like I said, this girl is just not putting these swords down. And maybe you have martyr energy. Like I said, you're definitely the type that likes to care and nurture for people, but almost in a way where it is detrimental to you, because I feel like you feed off of other people's pain and negativity. And like the Death card and like the Phoenix, you have an incredible power to transmute these things, but you're letting your own wounds fester. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of a masochistic thing. So your wounded energy is being fed off of by other people's energy. It's kind of an unhealthy dynamic that I'm sensing, and I want to see if I can explain this properly, because I'm familiar with this energy. This is definitely played out in my life, and it is something that I'm actively working on trying to heal. Because you were wounded, or because you were abandoned, either in childhood, or if that doesn't resonate, maybe past life, if you believe in any of those types of things, you need to be craved, need to be needed. I don't know, I'm really sensing a lot of toxic energy from this card that in turn makes you seek out the types of partners that will be dependent on you and dependent on your nurturing. But I'm sensing that this is the toxic pattern that you're not letting heal. And I don't know what it is about you, but like I said, you really have this magnetic energy that people are just drawn to, like a moth to a flame, because they sense your love, they sense your comfort, they sense that nurturing quality in you that wounded people just seek out like crack. And this isn't the case for everyone. Like, honestly, in my case, I do possess this nurturing quality, but I feel like it's been my life path to have to work that out on my own and not attract certain people, not attract certain partnerships, because I lose myself in them. But this is not the case for you. I think that you will keep attracting new partnerships and people into your life until you can put down these swords and feed your own wounds. I don't know. I guess I'm really just wanting to bring attention to this toxicity and negativity, and I don't know that you've even been aware of that now, but I'm sensing that like you can feel that in your heart. Like a pain or resonance, like go deep inside of that feeling and let it fill up your body so you can recognize what it feels like and when it comes up in certain situations. Because regardless of whatever I say and whether or not you heal this wound, you will continue to invite people into your life and feed them based off of this toxic wounding that really just needs to be healed. It's honestly like poison, and the sooner you can get it out, the better. And in your case, you're lucky where you still will experience the love and devotion that you're seeking out from a partner no matter what. But I just think you could have a little bit more of a role to play in ensuring that these are as healthy as they can be. I'm sensing it's gonna take up to 5 years or maybe more for you to really root out the cause of this issue and heal it deeply. Like I said, that does not mean you're gonna be single. Like, you're gonna be in partnerships regardless. But for if it takes being a good partner to receive a good partner. And this is what you're really wanting here. This Nine of Cups, this wish fulfillment, this happily ever after. But what I'm being asked to tell you is, how can you be a better partner? How can you be a better lover? How can you address this energy, this toxic energy that has been imprinting itself into you and others around you, so that you receive the partnership you deserve? Because I hate to say it, but it's not gonna be all fun and games when there's something inside of yourself that you're refusing to see. I feel like you're almost gonna get to the brink of ecstasy and receive everything you've been wanting and you deserve, but there's that one little piece of you that's still stuck in this negativity and toxicity that will be preventing you from that. And I think it's gonna take a matter of maturity, putting down your ego and soothing your wounds to come to terms with this, because whatever it is, at this moment, you are unconscious of it. And I'm sensing you guys may be a little bit young. Like, I'm sensing you're a little bit immature in the love realm. Either that, or you had parents that were emotionally manipulative or emotionally immature. And I feel like this runs strongly through your both father and mother side, and it was present in the relationship, and it's been passed down to you. And I think that you kind of you see your familiar relationships and you're wondering how they've got it so fucked up. You're just like, ew, like, you guys are weird. Maybe like your aunt or your uncle, and you just look at them and you're kind of turned off. But what I'm asking you to see is that you exhibit the same patterns in your relationships, maybe in a different way, but that type of toxic energy runs through you. So are you willing to root that out and come to terms with it so you can be different? Yeah, there's some karmic energies running through. You guys have a big family. Honestly, I'm really sensing, I don't know if you identify as part of the Latinx community, but I'm just seeing really strong visuals of that, like Hispanic people, lineage, family. I'm seeing a very specific face of your mother and father, and maybe this isn't you, this could just be for one or two people. Yeah, but there's definitely some like family karma, and I don't think that this is the type of thing that you have to fix in order to move on in life. You know, like, the sad thing is that you could let it stay, or let it go, and I don't think it would really affect you in your life regardless, but I feel like you would just be missing out a little bit if you didn't at least address this pattern a bit, because I don't know, everyone is worthy of receiving like true unconditional love where the partners are transparent with each other. We aren't hiding behind childhood wounds, and I just think you owe it to yourself and the rest of your family, like even just to dig deep a little bit and just figure out where this is coming from. I'm sensing resistance from you guys already, like what is she talking about? You don't want to do that, because it's really easy for you to keep repeating these cycles. That's the thing, it's very easy. You could very easily go throughout the rest of your life and do this and kind of be a little bit stupid and crazy in love, and you get away with it because you still have a thrilling drama kind of fairy tale romance, but it is not the romance you guys deserve. I'm telling you right off the bat, because not even for the other person, but for you, because you wouldn't fully be letting yourself come into the true union and true desire you deserve if you're kind of just playing silly and immature in the love realm. And I'm sensing that the people around you, like your parents and your family, they do this too. So honestly, pile on, up to you. Yeah, I guess that wants to come through this reading, and I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Okay, let's see what else. Alright, so the twin flame card comes through for pile one. Maybe you're on this path. Maybe you don't even know what a twin flame is. Honestly, for me, in this, maybe this is confirmation, but honestly, for me in this reading, I think it's more representative of the inner work that both you and your counterpart need to do to heal. And I think that is the family toxicity that I've been picking up on. And like I said, you guys really need to heal your inner child, okay? That's what I'm getting here. Just something happened. I just keep picking up on this energy of poison. And if this is what you want, and I see that, you would be the type of person to want that, because that Nine of Cups came out. You have to be willing to face and address these really deep wounds that are coming up for you, okay? And I want to be gentle with you guys, because like I said, I think the majority of these wounds are unconscious, and it would be very easy for you to just skip through life and just kind of be lackadaisical in love and in healing these wounds that need addressing. But please don't shy away from that. And you know, if you do meet your twin, maybe you are gonna be triggered. And I don't know, it's kind of funny how saying, like, something better is coming for you, and that could totally be the case, guys. So just really pay attention to these triggers that come up in your love life. Relax, everything is okay. It really is, guys. I don't know if you're stressing out about being single. I mean, you probably must be if you're watching this reading, you know, but you guys really don't have anything to be worried about. I think you guys are like a really great catch. People are attracted to you. People want to be around you. There's really nothing that can get in your way except for these wounds that I'm picking up on, like, and spirit keeps just bringing my attention back to it. I think usually I would be really excited to see that someone got this card, you know, like that's a big thing, this is a big mission. But this takes deep, deep inner healing work to make this type of relationship work. And what I'm worried about, I guess, is that you guys just want to skip through life and act like you don't have problems or that you're not toxic in love. Here's the thing, like when you're a really nurturing type of person, and I just feel like really big, warm, loving embrace, just lion-hearted, glowing orange aura. I think you know what I'm saying. It's really hard to deflect your relational problems onto the other person because, and I'm not a mom, so I don't know this, but I assume it's kind of hard for mothers or maternal figures to feel like they do anything wrong because they sacrifice everything for their young. And I think in a lot of ways you do. You're constantly looking out. So maybe it's really hard for you to understand how you're perpetuating toxicity or how you're perpetuating people being lenient and dependent on you, but there's a deep trigger, there's a deep wound that is needing to be addressed here with you guys. But I think you guys just want to skip into the Nine of Cups energy and just act like everything is sunshine and rainbows, and you know, just not do the work. And I have these beautiful roses on my altar in front of me, and I keep being drawn to these spikes and these thorns and these jagged edges. And you know, what is that quote? It might be by Rumi or something, but it's like, flowers, I need to pull it up. Flowers have thorns so that, like, the bravest of heart, only the truest and bravest of heart are willing to face the pain and face the thorns to get to the center of the rose. And maybe they'll be bleeding, but then they're enveloped in sweet nectar and ecstasy, and that's how you truly know. That's how the rose knows that those are truly the worthy and divine at heart. Hi guys, future me here. So I did actually find the quote. It is by Rumi, so I'm going to recite that for you really quickly. The Divine Mother offers me her rose. How rich that gift may be. I tear my flesh on its thorns, and my blood flows. I curse myself for carelessness, and yet, in my desire to grasp the gift, it happens again and again. Then I realize such is its scent, its beauty. How can I be tentative in my approach? My senses are drenched in beauty, and I long to inhale the exquisite perfume, to reach for the velvet dew of her petals, soft and delicate under my touch. Perhaps I'll be scraped and I will bleed, yet that is not enough to deter me, to prevent me from accepting this gift. The magnificence of the bloom renders to the struggle to enjoy it as a worthy, noble, essential pursuit. Of course I understand. Something so precious must be protected. It must be allowed to live, more than this, to thrive. So those thorns are hooks that allow for growth, for those that would bear the pain of the ascent to the rose's blooming heart. And those thorns are barbs that keep away those that would consume the creation without appreciating its worth and its beauty. Yes, those thorns serve essential purpose. I cannot begrudge them, for I love the rose, and so I love what is necessary for her to be. I love the thorns too. I guess what I'm saying is, if you guys want this Nine of Cups, and I don't even think you guys know what your Nine of Cups is. I think you're involved in this fantasy an almost delusion a little bit. I feel like there is a little bit of delusion energy just because of what you've been taught love is from your familiar relationships. And I just think, just due to the fact of you being young, you have this idea and you're putting it on a pedestal, but I don't even think you know what it is you're asking for. And what it's asking you to do is be humble and go through the initiation of the rose. You have to be willing to get torn and cut up and bruised and bleed, and I don't even think you guys are ready for that at this moment. I think you want to stay in this Six of Swords, a little bit more immature energy until you've gone through enough experience in life to know and to come into awareness of what lies at the center of the rose. I think you guys are shooting for a fake rose right now, like something that's not realistic, that isn't possible. And I think what Spirit is needing you to know right now is that the time will come really when you're initiated into this path, if you're willing and ready to take it. But it's not gonna be all sunshine and rainbows, because I swear to receive this deep type of unconditional love, there's a lot of things that you have to let go of, that you may not be willing to face. And that's not your fault. Life is scary. No one wants to be cut up and torn, because when they're halfway through, it's easy to give up and feel like you're not, and feel like it's not worth it. Okay, so there's a lot of mixed messages coming through this reading for you guys, and maybe you guys may be a little bit sad to hear this, but there really is an overall message of hope. I think you guys just need to have the maturity it takes to want to go on this path. And that's possible, but I think what's keeping you single right now, or away from this divinely orchestrated love that you've been taught about or you've been aware of, is just the fact that you're not ready. Honestly, just the fact that you're not ready to go through the trials and tribulations it takes to face the rose, because you guys have not done the inner work that it takes to get there. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. Let's pull a moon oracle card. Bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. I think I'm picking up on your guys' confusion right now in this pile. There seems to be a conflicting balance of your wants and your needs. And I just want you guys to know that it's okay. It takes time to figure love out, and you guys really do have more than enough time on your hands in this situation. And I feel like you're not seeing that because you're so focused on this outcome, and you're breaking your own heart because you're just not getting the time and the attention that you need to take care of your own self and your own wounds. I don't even think that you guys wanna do that or face that right now. So this card says, love who you are. You are divine, delightful, and deserving of the things life has to offer. You guys matter a lot more than you think that you do, and I think that this COVID situation has been getting you down, and I had to like stop and sit here for a second because your energy was really starting to overwhelm me. I don't know, guys. I've been in this situation so many times, and I'm still coming out of it a little bit, where everything feels distorted. Everything feels like it's turned upside down. You don't know which way's up. You don't know which way's down. You don't know if the way to your heart is through or like around. And take a deep breath. Okay, relax. Everything is going to be okay. A lot of truths needed to come through this reading. But I think more than anything, I'm reflecting your own internal battle and chaos and back to you so you can address it. I don't even think anything new came through this reading to you. It's just asking you to take a step back and ask what you need. Self-reflect instead of seeking these answers externally, because I believe that it's just adding to your chaos and your confusion, and that's the reason why I'm getting overwhelmed. I think you need to come back to balance with your own internal blissful, peaceful energy inside of you. Like, listen to music, meditate, take a bath. There's too much toxicity swirling around in this energy right now, and I feel like it's being pushed onto me, so I'm being asked to tell you guys, hey, stop for a second. Don't look at the pick a card readings. There's something inside of you that is needing to be rebalanced. All the answers are going to come when the time is right and the time is ready. Alright, Pylon, so I think I'm going to stop your reading there. Drink water, drink juice. Or like, go watch another uplifting reading. Like, do what makes you feel good, because I think that seeking these answers externally is not making you feel good, and I think that's part of the problem here. But like it says, relax, everything is okay. Thank you for letting me read for you, and hope to see you in the next read. Hi Pylon, thank you for letting me read for you. I had to stop your reading. The energy was getting really intense. I think I was really starting to pick up on your frustration in the reading, and how you guys just really wanted answers and wanted to hear everything that you feel like you need to hear. So I felt like my throat was closing up a little bit, and it was just really intense, and I couldn't really stay in that energy for very much longer, so I had to cut it off. So sorry if that seemed a little bit abrupt, but I agree with my last message that maybe it's best that you take a break, because it's really hard to, when you're trying really hard to find the answers that you want and you need to hear, and nobody's giving that to you. And I've been in that situation so many times before, so my heart really goes out to you. So just take just drink a lot of water, take a deep breath. I promise when the situation is meant to come to light, it will. But that's all I could give you at that point in time in this reading. So I wish you guys the best and wish you all the healing in the world. Okay. Alrighty, so if you chose pile 2 with the opal light that keeps running away from me, this is going to be a reading. So I kind of made this disclaimer at the beginning, but I just want to remind you guys not to take any of this too seriously, too personally. There's thousands of readers and readings on YouTube, thousands of people that choose from limited number of piles, so if something that I say is not resonating with you, please feel free to drop it and let it go. We do not need to get our feelings hurt over a tarot reading. It's honestly just for fun. If an amazing message comes through for you, so be it. Let it enlighten you and enliven you and add to your soul and your spirit. If it doesn't, retract it and let it go. With that said, pile 2s, why are you still single? You are still stuck on a romance of the past. This person may have felt like they were marriage material to you, like you guys were destined to be, and maybe you could be, I'm not one to say. You still have a lot of love for this person and they still have a lot of love for you. You guys are like the shining light in each other's lives and you have not been able to let each other go ever since. Maybe you guys knew each other as children, or it's just something about the purity of each of your souls that enlivens this childlike curiosity in each of you when you're together. But this could be a very deep soul union partnership, and either it didn't work out or there's no commitment yet, but either way, there's a lot of love coming through this pile, and you're still starstruck. You're still starstruck over this person. You're still caught up in all the moments that you two have shared. You're still caught up in the memories. You may feel them like kissing you while you're sleeping. You may feel their energy around you. You may be caught up fantasizing about the ways that you guys used to dance together, the ways that they used to kiss your forehead before you went to sleep, the way that you gaze at each other, hold each other, stare into each other's eyes. It's very much like you guys are still in a relationship, maybe not physically in the 3D, but in the 5D, I'm sensing that you guys are still very connected as souls. And if this is not something that you guys wish for, I suggest that you do a ritual cord cutting release. But if you have no interest in letting it go and you enjoy these types of astral experiences, then so be it. Let it keep going. I feel like you guys keep looking for each other wherever you go. Maybe at the bus stop you want to see if they're on the bus, or I don't know. I think you guys are just very much in each other's orbit and each other's spirit, and you guys really just haven't let each other go, honestly. If you guys don't see each other, it's literally like you guys are still together all the time, but you, like, maybe you just physically aren't. Maybe you had to walk away from the situation for some reason, or leave, or there was just some type of sun setting on this relationship. The curtains were closed and you're still not over it, but for most of you, like, this was the love of your life. Like, this is literally the same girl in this card. It's just that she's alone now and she's forlorn. I do want to tell you guys not to worry though. Like, you couldn't cut this person out of your life even if you wanted to. And I do feel very strongly that this person is coming back. If that's what you want to hear. If you don't want them to come back, I just think that you guys may still have some conflict resolution, but that's not really the message I'm getting. I don't know, this relationship is just very much not over. I think you guys just like went through a breakup or a tough period, but like, I'm kind of wondering why you guys are even asking this question. I think you very much know how entrenched you guys are as souls, and that this really just couldn't go anywhere even if you wanted it to. Man, isn't that something when you have to walk away or something just not working out for some reason, but you literally feel like you're still in a committed relationship with that person all the time? Like, yeah, I know how that feels for sure, pile 2, and I think this is very much that type of situation. So, if you guys just needed that confirmation, there you go. But man, you're still single because you're in a relationship. Like, I don't know if that even makes sense, but it's like, you're in a no one would like approach, like, there's this very monogamous energy to the two of you, and I don't think you guys are letting anyone else infiltrate your guys' combined auric fields. What? I don't understand what's going on between you guys. So maybe one of you is a writer, or maybe I'm just taking this card way too literally, but maybe you just needed some time by yourself to focus on something that would give you a step ahead in life. Maybe you had to focus on your career, or maybe it's just that you're still single because you spend a lot of your time in solitude. I don't even think you guys are that interested in the dating or romantic realm of life right now. I feel like you guys are still very much caught up in this like fairy tale romance or whatever that happened between you two, and I'm almost getting like you're in a daze. Like, you're daydreaming, you're in the clouds, you're not connected to Earth, everything feels incredibly surreal for you right now. And I think because so much of your focus and attention is like in the 5D and like connecting with this other person's soul, you're not grounded enough to even make or establish any types of relationships that would, allow you to come into the romantic love as we know it on this earthly plane. Maybe you guys are writers, or like I said, you're focusing on your career, but like maybe you're reading up a lot about what this connection is or was, or what you should do, and that's occupying a lot of your time. But whatever the situation is, I just see like your head is in the clouds. This was a very different energy than than I picked up on in my pile ones. Okay. Maybe you guys had to walk away from this situation because maybe your family disapproved of whatever was going on between the two of you, or it just dissented from the norm. Maybe this doesn't even have to do with family. It could just be like society in general, or some type of energy that did not belong between the two of you kind of infiltrated your guys' relationship and broke the two of you up. And maybe there's honestly just ancestral lineage wounding that was arising, and the two of you really just need to work this out before anything gets fixed. I think that you guys were deeply entrenched in patterns that were toxic to the two of you, and you guys are both aware of these, and you're taking some time to walk away or come back to the drawing board. Like, see how she's staring at the moon? This is kind of representative of the moon energy in a tarot deck, which is about your intuition. So yeah, and I don't even think that you guys meant to hurt each other's feelings. There was just some misunderstandings. Like, either the way that the two of you did things or grew up was different and it was causing some friction, but like most strongly I just feel that you guys needed to come away from each other to clear some ancestral patterning, and then when that's worked on and understood, the two of you can come back to this relationship in a more committed way. A fiery climax approaches. To me, this really just reminds me of like the fire of the phoenix and rebirth. So, I think you guys are really transmuting a lot of things, and you're both really dedicated to this. Like, you're actively throwing the things that no longer serve you into this fire, and you're letting them burn. I think this is also representative of the flame that is still burning very brightly in between the two of you. So no matter what happens in the situation, like, know the time may be fast approaching for a reunion, or just something which would push you guys further into this like reconciliation that you guys have been looking forward to. But I just really like see you guys arduously working away at these blocks and all the negativity that's been getting in the way of your relationship. Not only that, but seeing you guys both for who you truly are as souls inside. I think this is very important to you, that you actively clear away ancestral karma, that you're actively working on educating yourself and ridding yourself of these toxins and these energies in your auric field. I feel like you guys are doing a cleanse. It's like purging, but in a very fiery, transmutable way. The full moon in Leo could have brought that to your attention if you're watching this around the time that I posted it. Yeah, you guys really want to do a lot for each other. It's really important to you. You're willing to put everything and anything on the line that comes in between the two of you guys having a relationship, and being better for each other. Doesn't matter what you have to get rid of. Like, you would literally like cut your own chest open and pull out the wound that was stopping you and throw it in the fire if it meant, you know, coming closer to this person. You guys are very committed to the path of self-growth, and I see this with the Aries card, and Aries represents knowing thyself. Very committed to, I feel like you guys want no boundaries in between the two of you. What was stopping you from connecting before was that there was just all this stuff in your energy field that didn't belong to you, like whatsoever. And it was painful, and it was necessary to take a step back so you could really address what was stopping you. But the really beautiful thing about this pile is that when you do this and you transmute these energies, it's not only helping you come closer to this person, what it really is doing is helping you come closer to yourself. And I feel like in the future there really will be no boundaries between the two of you, because you guys have cleansed the mirror so much that when you guys stand in front of each other, it's just the pure reflection of your guys' souls, and there's no dirt or, you know, yucky stuff getting in the way. I don't even know. I feel like I can go more into this card. I'm getting a lot of energy from this, but there's just a flame that burns brightly between the two of you that really cannot be extinguished. That's honestly why you're single. You're working on yourself. You're heavily transmuting all this energy that was stopping you from becoming your true authentic self. So honestly, just kudos to you guys. You know, maybe you guys are even involved in tantra. You know, there's this very big emphasis in tantra on clearing energetic blocks that have been trapped in the body due to trauma, and I almost feel there's this very holistic, integrative approach to the way that you guys are doing this. Like, you're very serious and very committed to that path of self-actualization and coming into alignment with another. So let's pull your final card. I love this deck, it's beautiful. So this one says, treasure your loved ones. It's important to love others dearly. I think in this process of being away from each other, you're also coming into a deeper understanding of how to love everyone. Like, this love doesn't just exist between the two of you. When you can work on yourself and clean your vessel, it really can defy gravity and extend to the entire world. So I think that through this process of integrating your wounds and your pre-existing conditions, that you just come into a sense of deeper oneness with the earth and the world around you and the people that exist around you and the collective consciousness. I feel like you guys are gonna be new earth leaders. I really see this here. There's like an elderly woman with a little child on her lap, which honestly could be her mother, but I'm seeing it more as just like you guys nurturing this newer generation, and you're learning how to love everyone else outside of your relationship, but more importantly yourself. So I think you guys had some very important mission work to do before, you know, coming back into union with whoever this person is. But you guys will figure this out in time, whatever it is, whatever is going on between the two of you. But according to me and the cards that came through, I think that's why you're still single. You are in a relationship, just maybe not in the earthly realm, but that will definitely keep you single here, because people will sense that. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that reading, found it helpful and valuable. Out of appreciate it if you could leave me a comment about what you thought, what resonated, what didn't, what you think I could improve. I'd love to hear your feedback. And if not, then I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next read. Alright, for those of you who chose pile 3, this is going to be your reading. If you chose this rose quartz that didn't come with the name, or the magenta heart. So I've made a few disclaimers in the other videos, and maybe you heard me a little bit in the intro, but I really want you guys to use your intuition, and if anything I says doesn't resonate or doesn't feel good, please let it go. We're all going through some shit right now, and the last thing I want to do is make you guys feel like shit. So if something I say really pisses you off, if something just makes you feel dark inside, I'm giving you my full permission to leave that alone and let it go. My intention is not to bring anyone down with my readings, and I also am aware that when we're reading or diving deep into the cards on a sensitive subject like the matter of love is, or matter of still being single is, it's easy to become triggered or offended. But honestly, guys, I just want you to take whatever it is that resonates with you in this reading and just leave the rest alone, because we need to leave that toxic BS in 2020 or whatever year that was. We just don't need that energy right now. Anyways, okay, so pile 3, let's see why you are still single. You are overqualified, okay? You are shining pentacle, you know, you're too good. For anyone else around you, honestly, I'm seeing that straight. Like, you are way too good. People are not at your level. People do not know how to be mature and emotionally open and as emotionally vulnerable as you do. And you may have been stuck with a partner in the past who was very immature, which elevated you to this King of Cups status. And this might even feel frustrating for you because you know what you have to offer, and I just feel like the other people around you just aren't at your level yet. You could be fairly young, even though the King is coming through, but I'm just sensing the energy of someone who, you know, has already been through a lot of shit in love or relationships. And you know who you are, you know who you want, you know what you desire. And you're still single because you're overqualified, man, honestly. You're decked out, you're adorned, you're royalty. You have loyal and willing subjects that are, you know, here to serve you, but you don't want any of that. You want your Queen of Cups, you want your divine match, you want your divine counterpart, and I think that you're stubbornly waiting for that right person to show up. You know, he's highly decorated, highly accomplished, highly achieved. Maybe you don't feel that way, but because of the card that's coming out, I think that you are. And I think you're comfortable sitting on your throne, but I think you're waiting expectantly. But I wouldn't worry too much about this pile 3. It's probably frustrating to hear that, like, nobody around you is good enough for you, because you clearly want somebody who can rule the kingdom with you simultaneously. And that will happen, obviously. That will happen. But maybe other people in life need your direction. Maybe there's people subordinate to you that can use your leadership, because I'm sensing when you get into a partnership, your attention is going to be taken away and it's going to be withdrew and put completely on whoever your significant other is. So honestly, I'd really take some time to rule over these loyal subjects in your life, give guidance, be this ever endearing and generous king, and give freely. And I think a lot of people in your life can benefit from that truly. And with this full moon card, I mean, it's not a full moon card, but there is a full moon on this card. I'm sensing that conclusions are within reach, and the situation is coming to a culmination. You will get what you need. But let's see what else comes through with the second card. Yeah, I think that there was somebody in your past that was very immature, and you know, you're still getting over it. They could be an Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini, just because the Swords energy is coming through. They kind of like rode away from you in a super immature way, and I think that that just completely rubbed you the wrong way. And what I want to say is, like, this person was actually a reflection of you and your energy. Like, what part of you is actually running away from yourself? What part of you is, you know, willing to play games and act like the real situation at hand doesn't really matter, and kind of just skirt off and do whatever you want? What part of you shows up like that in your energy? And I'm not saying that you do this to other people, because you're coming through as the King of Cups. I don't think that you do. I think it's more of like an inner thing. And I feel like this memory in your mind is just kind of replaying. I definitely just don't think this is the sole reason why you're single whatsoever. I think it's more just like a hindrance, and maybe when people try to get close to you, a part of you kind of gets triggered because you remember this person, you remember this energy, you remember how they just flew away and left you, and you know, maybe a part of you is a little bit afraid of that, but you really are sitting pretty on this throne, you guys. And I just think that the remnants of this energy in your auric field could be holding you back from experiencing what it is that you truly want and truly deserve. Even though it's not entirely fair, you know, because I think you've done a great deal of healing work, and you're ruling over your loyal subjects, you know. I totally mean that as a joke, like in a metaphorical way, but I think you guys understand what I mean by that. And like, you see, there is a moon in this card, but it's completely covered up, which is very indicative of this person's intuition just being so fuzzy, so cloudy. Whoever ran away from you, they didn't know what they were doing. They were juvenile, they were having fun, but they didn't realize that they were running away from what it was that their soul truly wanted them to do. They were clouded, they were too drunk on, you know, flying with the crows and wanting to be one of the people, like not realizing that they were a knight. And I think that this situation really hurt you, but I think you were always this king, though. You were always this king, and this energy just may have been a little bit mismatched. So I think you may get stuck in the past a little bit with this situation, and it haunts you a little bit. And this could be hindering your growth, but I do not think that this is like the sole contributor to why you are still single. So if you're worried about that, I don't think you are. I think you know that you've gone past it, but just know that like that person can't mess up what's meant for you. Yeah, solar plexus chakra. So I think you just really got your feelings hurt. Your ego is bruised. It was wounded, and it was really a hit to your self-esteem. And I think you still struggle to realize that you are royalty and like you're sitting on this throne. And I think that you also may not realize how much authority and power you have in your life, and how much power and authority you have over other people, and how much people actually look up to you and think, okay, yeah, this is really a self-confidence issue. I don't think that you're seeing yourself clearly. And again, I feel like this is just like the slightest speck of dirt on your window shield. And I think this is honestly a matter of divine timing more than anything, which is probably the most infuriating thing that I could say, because I fucking hate that when people say that to me in a reading when I really just don't want to be single, or I really just want something to happen. But these are issues that you could flesh out in the meantime while you're waiting. But again, I just want to reiterate that this is not the sole reason why you're single, but yeah, confidence and power issues are really showing up strongly. And I think sometimes it's okay to question your worth, because that's just asking you to go deeper and rise into a deeper understanding of who you truly are as an individual. But you don't realize how powerful and amazing and talented you are. And I think that really wanted to come through this reading. I think that if you really stepped into your power and realized that other people look up to you and care for you and want to be in your life and think great things about you, then you wouldn't be so hung up on this other person, and you wouldn't be so hung up on the fact that you are this King of Cups, but you're just sitting on the rock alone. I think that there needs to be a change in your perception of how you're viewing your singlehood. And if you could do that, like, that would shift a lot of things for you and this connection with this other person, I'm being told to say. So I think you're very focused on the fact that you are this singleton sitting on this rock. You're like, bitch, I have all this power. I have a, what is that thing called? King Triton had the Little Mermaid, and so does Poseidon. Like, you are powerful. You're carrying this goblet. You're just like, I have all this food, I have all these jewels, but there's no one to enjoy them with, and it really just gets you down. But if you could just celebrate like all the life and the kingdom that you have around you, and like even commune with the little fishies in the pond or the sea. Like, I know they seem insignificant and subordinate to you, but if you could really just come to terms with how much of an impact you make on other people, you'd really revel in that, and you'd really enjoy that. And this king really does feel lonely to me, because he wants his equal, he or she wants his, or they wants his King of Cups, Queen of Cups to come along. Maybe you want a King of Cups, I don't know. But I think it's really important that you revel in this power that you have, and that you are this force of change. And I think it can be a little bit jarring to realize that like you're up here and everyone's down here, because it feels lonely at the top. There's tons of people down here, but there's only space for one or two of you up here. But if you can break those barriers down and come into the sense of like oneness, even though there is a little bit of an imbalance between you and the other people in your life right now, like, you can be a serious force for change. You can bring so goodness to the lands of these other people and really just enrich their lives. And I think that this would actually really add to your self-confidence, because you're like, wow, like, yeah, I am that bitch. I did make this difference. I did help these minnows build a house. Okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying right now, minnows. You know. Anyways, so yeah, just realizing the effects you have on just the little parts and pools of life, you'll really, okay, because a king is no good if he's just ruling over his royal subjects just to rule them and just to assert his power. Like, that's no fun. It's not fun just having all these necklaces, as you know, and no one to share your wealth and your prosperity with. But I hate to say this, if you kind of like use yourself to make yourself available to like these lesser charity cases, that sounds so demeaning, but I think you guys get the overall gist of my message. Then this will boost your confidence. This will boost your self-esteem because you're acting in the path of service and you're actually enriching the lives of the people around you, which is really what a king should be doing, but that's a story for another time. Grandparent. So it says you have a special bond with a grandparent that can never be broken. So I get a few things with this message. This just could be double confirmation with you if you recently had a grandparent that left you and went to spirit. They could just be coming through to say, hey. I think this is actually just confirmation of your soul and how far you've come in so many different lifetimes. I feel like you have a really ancient soul, and like maybe that's why you're kind of up here on this pedestal and everyone is down here. You came to this lifetime to experience the riches instead of the rags, so that's inevitably kind of gonna put you in a higher pecking order than a lot of people around you. And you know, we kind of all come to life relatively on the same playing field. We have to all, for the most part, go through school, like get a job. I don't know, unless you were like homeschooled or really rich, but you know, I said most people. We kind of go through similar trials and tribulations in life, but I feel like your path is being expedited, and this is like a transitionary waiting phase for you to step higher into your royalty and to like really receive your divine mission and be coronated and be adorned, if you kind of get the gist of what I'm saying. I just wouldn't worry so much about that right now. You know, like I said, I think you could just receive so much heart healing and so much fire just by focusing, just admiring the ripples you make in this pool of life and admiring them and seeing how far they can go. You'd almost lose yourself in all those patterns and rings reflecting off the face of the water that you'd almost forget. You'd almost just be so lost, and all of a sudden you just see a face show up in this reflection of the pond, and you get started like, oh, I forgot I was even looking for you. Like, let's watch as we make ripples in this pool of life together. And you know, so just don't worry so much. I know, again, it's probably really frustrating to hear that when you just want someone in your life, but you are incredibly overqualified. So this card is full moon in Leo. Don't let pride get in your way. I think that's funny how this one comes out because Leo is actually the sign of royalty, especially if you have the South Node in like the 5th house or a Leo, then you were probably royalty in a past life. I don't think that your ego is too big. I almost just feel like this is telling you like, I think that you're like demanding to the universe that you want your way and you want it now, but don't let your ego and like what it thinks should be happening in your life like get in the way of all these things around you. I feel like You have an inflated sense of like what is truly available to you right now, and you're getting frustrated and you're getting hung up on that. So just pay attention to the smaller things. And I almost even feel like in a way this ego could be like your own self-wounding or own lack of belief in yourself that's actually getting in your way. Like maybe your ego is telling you stories that just aren't true and you're not seeing yourself clearly, like your reflection is distorted. And this actually pairs really well with the solar plexus chakra because they kind of have to deal with similar things. I think your sense of self is really asking to be rebalanced here in this situation and rethought out so you have a more healthy sense of who you are that isn't so dependent on other people or another person coming through. The last card that's coming through is relationship patterns from this stunning deck. Yeah, you really don't want to repeat the same pattern, whatever it was that happened in this situation with this person, or even just your own wounding in general. I feel like that's really affecting the view you have of yourself, would inhibit any type of relationship you have right now. And it says, this card says, it takes strength to recognize the need for change. And I feel like you guys have been done the work, truly. So I think more than anything, this is just applauding the work that you've done to heal yourself. But yeah, this person is holding up a mirror to this girl playing the harp or the lyre, whatever it is, and she's not looking, she's refusing to look at the mirror. So I think that honestly for this pile, it's just some honest self-reflection is needed, and maybe it's like the type of thing where you look in the mirror and you just don't realize how amazing it is that you truly are, and that like you are really an old soul. But yeah, honestly, you guys just know that it will come in time. I don't think I could really tell you timing for this, and this is a why are you single reading, not why or when are you gonna get into your next relationship. But you guys have definitely got your pride and your ego wounded, and it needs some repairing, and you need some genuine self-reflection on who it is you truly are and who it is that you're meant to serve, and make meaning out of that instead of, I guess, just looking at how alone you are, because it's really easy to get trapped into that cycle and keep manifesting that pattern. Alright guys, so I hope that was insightful and you got something from that reading.